right, welcome to this week's edition of After the Whistle. As you can see, we're not in the studio today because they got stuff they're doing over there that gotta be fixed. So we in the conference room chilling.
And I could have wore green today.
Very good.
Some BS, man.
It bees like that. It bees like that. NBA playoffs is in full swing. Oh, we're gonna recap the semifinals and then we're gonna get into last night's game and preview the Celtics game tonight. First up, we're gonna start off with the Celtics as they sent Philly packing, and I don't know why anybody thought Philly was gonna win that series because they got the master choke artist coach and they got a future Hall of Fame player who just doesn't show up in big games. And they both appeared in Game 7 because I think James Harden had 9 points.
Yeah, combination of for disaster. Granted, they put a good fight in the first half. Then Tatum just went on an explosion. Like it was like back to back to back to back to back threes. It was like just an explosion. He came to play.
25 in the first half.
Yeah, he was balling like that. That's what I was talking to DeAndre about. I was saying like he had 25 in the first half, and that was his average for the series. So for you to go in halftime with that, you had the utmost confidence. You know, he's the man on the team, and he showed why. Like, granted, Browns are great. 1B, which is not a problem, but Tatum showed why he's top dog.
Philly, they're gonna be kicking themselves in the foot because you had this series. The series was right there for you for the taking. You were up in Game 6. You had like a 2-point lead there in the fourth quarter, and then they went to bed. They couldn't score at all.
But was it really theirs to take, or were the Celtics just kind of playing with them, playing with their food?
No, it was theirs to take because opportunities like this don't come around. You won a road game. That's 2 road games. It's damn near impossible to win 3 road playoff games, especially in a Game 7. You're coming back home. You have a lead late. Your big man is playing well. And then whatever you was doing, I don't know what they said in the huddle or something, but whatever was working, they decided they're not going to do what's working, and then it went to bed.
And that just shows you what Philly is. That is what Philly is. They have a recipe for success. They just go away from it and thinking they could put out another dish when the people ask for something else. And like my thing is like people are so like so ecstatic about Game 1. And I'm like, me personally, I never thought the Sixers were even gonna really compete this deep into the playoffs, this deep into the series, but they played better than I thought they were going to play. But I just didn't see. I just had no confidence in them at all.
They've shown you. They've got 3 people on that team that shown you that you can't have full confidence in them.
And I don't understand James Harden going from Game 1 to Game 7, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like he had a good Game 1. He had a great Game 1.
He had a crazy Game 1.
Game 2 and 3, he was trash. Game 4, he had another 40-point performance. Game 5, I don't think he had a 40-point performance.
But he played well.
He played well, and then.
And then too, like it just felt like once that third quarter started and they started hitting all them threes, because it wasn't just Tatum hitting threes, everybody was hitting threes. You can just see the life just leave. Like they just wanted to walk out the gym.
Yeah.
You could tell they were done. Like you said, you know what, man, this series is done. It's over.
They literally broke them.
And that's why I never had any real confidence in the Sixers because the Celtics just kind of they play with their food every round so far. And then they show when it's time to end the series, they like destroy them. Yeah. So it's like, what are we doing here? Can we just stop playing with our food and just actually keep your foot on their neck?
Legit. And then Tatum off that 51, it was kind of a carryover from the fourth quarter in game 6 because he was having historically bad offense, not like scoring wise. Like he was doing everything else, but scoring wise, he was just having one of his worst scoring performances. And then all it took was one shot.
Yeah, you got to put him up.
Yeah, at least he put him up.
You got to put him up. That's all it is. In order to shoot out a slump, you have to keep shooting.
At least he put him up. He put the shots up and was willing to take it. I'm like, what we could say about the other guy? He just, I have no idea what.
I don't think anyone understands it, man.
But once again, the Celtics. This is their fourth Eastern Conference Finals appearance in the last 5 years. I want to say
I thought it was like 5 and 7 years, something like that.
something like, or it might be like something like that. Yeah, something like that. I know that. Yeah, something like that. I can't.
I might be getting that mixed up with the Game 7s because they said something about Tatum playing in like a bunch of Game 7s so far in his career. So I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
I might be.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I might be. Yeah, I might have a little off.
I think they went back to back years. They went 2017, and I think they went back 2018.
I mean, we could always just Google
it. All right, the Knicks. Woo, Miami. To no surprise. Well, yeah, to no surprise, they pretty much outmuscled the Knicks, and two guys on this Knicks team that really got to look at themselves in the mirror this offseason. R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. This whole series, I kept saying, every time I turned on the game, I just kept saying, R.J. Barrett is not a really good basketball player. And then I would just watch him, and it's just like, he's like 1 for 5, 1 for 10, 1 for 13. Just like.
Yeah, he's still kind of young in his career so far. You know, he's only a couple years in. Granted, I don't think he's maybe worked in improving certain skill sets to help further his game so far, which I'm sure they'll put the microscope on it now because now there's a standard now with winning. So before, I'm sure the Knicks players, they trained to get better, but you can do what you want because there really wasn't much expectation. Now that you just went out in the second round, now they're going to expect these guys to make another push in the second round or go to the conference finals next year, meaning each piece has to improve.
And it was just like, I don't know what his game is. I mean, Barrett, like trying to figure out what his specialty is, like what he can do for the.
He gets to the cup. He can shoot open threes, shoot open shots. He's not really a pull-up shooter like that because he doesn't have the ball that much in his hands anymore because of Brunson. So he probably can be a good 3-and-D guy, slasher, kind of like an Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, right now he just don't have a niche. That's what I say. He don't have a niche. You go 1 for 10.
Well, remember, playing with the Knicks, it's hard to have a niche.
And then Julius Randle, whoo, my goodness. That's like two postseasons in a row where it's just like, you're the biggest guy on the court. Why are you on the perimeter the whole time?
And granted, he had double-double. He had 15-11, but based on how he performed against the Heat all regular season, they were expecting more. I heard an analyst saying that like he was bullying them all season, but remember, you can game plan for these people now. And they just took him out of his game. They forced him to shoot more than he usually would.
Like he let them. When you're that size and that skilled, like, yeah, a team could game plan and take you out to a certain extent, but you were just willingly letting them take you out. He was willingly letting them take out the game, just like hovering around the 3-point line. I mean, granted, Bam is a great defender, but you got size. Put Bam in the post. He can't really cover guys like that.
I think his issue at times, he's like a hybrid. Like he's a big forward, but he can shoot.
Yeah.
So he has that confidence. So he's probably thinking, but you can give me the shot at some point. I'll make these shots. But then they just weren't going down, and it just looks bad. You know, when they're going in, it looks great. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. They weren't going down.
It's not even like they look bad. It's like your shot selection.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. If they were good shots, people will live with the misses, but the shot selection was so bad. And then it seemed like his effort, like as the game continued, it just kept going down and down and down and down and down.
Remember, those franchises are built different. The Heat are built for these type of situations just because of how they do their preseason camp and training camp and all that. So they just grind it out. And like the Knicks, they seem like they gave up as well. You don't score more than 25 points other than the first quarter. You scored 31 in the first quarter, 19 in the second, and 21 in both the third and the fourth. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So
too much reliance on the little guy.
And then we talked about how we thought the Knicks kind of had an advantage in the paint. It shows that the Heat did because they had 38 points in the paint to the Knicks' 20.
That all just goes back to effort.
Yeah.
One thing you'll get with the Heat is effort, no matter what, from everybody that steps on the court. And you got 3 guys in double digits. You got guys hustling for the ball. You got guys, making open shots when they have them. So it's like.
And too, like when you have 25 assists to the Knicks 13 with only 7 turnovers to their 12. Recipe for success.
And it's why the Knicks have not gone to the conference finals since Larry Johnson shot.
But to their defense, they are improving. This was a good year for them, I'd say, especially based off the free agent. One of the better free agent signings you've seen in the past 10 years, I would say, just because, yeah.
Let's just hope this ain't their ceiling right now, because New York, it'll give them hope. They might blow this whole thing up.
If they're smart, they'll add a piece or two. They'll add a piece or
If they're
two.
smart, that's the key word. But they haven't shown that they're smart for the last decade or two. So, kudos to the Heat going back to the Eastern Conference Finals once again. So we'll recap that game again, and they're a team hitting their stride. They got injuries and stuff like that. They're just a team. They just got a bunch of guys that want to play basketball.
As you would expect every team to have, but that's not the case.
You heard DeMar DeRozan on that podcast say there's a lot of people that don't really love the game. They just made it and they just love the money. Yeah. Let's go to the Western Conference Finals. No surprise, Denver, a whole team beat the two-man team of the Suns of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, to no surprise to anybody, because two guys can only do so much, and when you're playing against a guy who's back-to-back MVP, and they've just been the most consistent team the Nuggets so far in this postseason. They've just been like a team they've been ready every single game.
Yeah, man. They got DeAndre Jordan, too. I didn't even mention that the other day when I was saying they got a stacked team. They got a lot of pieces, and next man up, that's how they play. Just an overall team effort. I didn't even write any notes about this game just because the Suns ran out of gas. Booking KD could only do so much, especially when they finally keyed on them and made them give up the ball. So they didn't even have 20, I don't think, in the third quarter. By then, one of them usually has 20.
They was down 30.
Man,
I wasn't watching. I had planned on watching the game, but then I'm on my way home. I looked at the update and I saw they was down 30, and it was still the first half. I was like, thank God, they did us all a favor. I don't have to watch the rest of this.
But
it's kind of a sad way to go out. But
let's be real. Everybody knew this was gonna happen. No matter how good your two guys are, it's just.
Lead would happen at least in the second half.
Oh yeah.
The
timing was probably surprising, but the result, people weren't surprised just because it's just too. You're asking for too much out of two players.
Yeah.
At that level.
Especially with one who's the injuries. Durant, he plays great, but those injuries, man.
And
serious injuries.
He's still getting used to playing with them. I didn't even realize he's barely been on the team.
2 months.
Yeah, so it's like now he has a full offseason with them and a full season with them.
Well, that whole we'll talk about that in a little bit. That whole franchise is like a whole revamp needs to go. I mean, you got DeAndre Jordan pretty much saying he started his vacation early because he knew he was going to lose. He ain't even bother suiting up. Rib contusion is what they said.
Yeah, you already know I rolled my eyes when I seen that. I was just like, you just didn't want the smoke. Like,
yeah, he ain't want to play. It seems like he's been at odds with them since last season.
I'll be honest. You know what some of these bigs are really dealing with? What guys usually got to deal with? Somebody killing you or putting up big numbers. There ain't nothing you could do about it. So like these bigs don't want to deal with Jokic. It's looking like you have to deal because you have to cover him, but they really don't want that smoke because he's killing them. Like it's embarrassing what he's doing to some of these people. So it's just like you got to just deal with it. It's part of the game. Like y'all professionals. Not saying that's why he sat out. He might have actually had a rib contusion. You're dealing with a man who's built like a dinosaur. So you might actually been hurt. But last game of the season, you could have just fought through it. Played at least the first half and then sat out the second half.
And then there's that turmoil between him and the franchise and stuff like that. He probably won't be there next year. So, ooh man, poor Suns. They had to deal with the Eastern European guys just got their numbers.
Because think about it, what other big has been really killing like that for past years since like Shaq? You had Anthony Davis a couple years, DeMarcus Cousins a couple years, but this man's been doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Him and Embiid, but Embiid can only take you so far.
And Jokic get you triple doubles.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
he on the rock. So
And then lastly, Golden State. Steve Kerr said it best. They maxed out.
yeah,
They maxed out. But man, we talked about how some of those guys they just look sorry.
no,
Man,
right there.
Klay Thompson looks sorry. Jordan Poole looks sorry. Draymond, Jesus, it was like, and I think someone said, "You're surprised Steph is such a nice guy that he that he won't tell him all they're sorry because he's out there, like pretty much getting the bulk of all the defenses up." Attacking him and stuff like that. But I know in his head he would be like, what am I doing with these dudes?
I only wrote Curry stats down because he's the only one that actually played. I should have wrote Andrew Wiggins because he was competing, but
Yeah, he was competing. Yeah, he could do
I'll be honest, the one that surprised me the most was Poole. Granted, he might not have had some of the best decisions at certain times, but just his overall play, like just getting regular layups, like he got to make the game simple. He doesn't do enough simple. He has to simplify his game at certain times to be more effective. Granted, he's always gonna be flash and flare, shooting crazy threes. That's his game. But if you're trying to get a contract, you're trying to be a starter and stuff. Yeah, you gotta just add some simplicity.
this whole playoff, even the first round, he just looked just a hot mess. Everything he did was just tragic. It was like tragic Bronson or whatever. It was like,
But this is first year playing against teams that are game planning for him now too. He's now in the scouting report. You know what I'm saying? He's probably top 6 or 7 guys they talk about in the scouting report. So
I still think that
he has to adjust now and learn.
yeah, he got to adjust now.
Jesus.
It's like where do they go from here? The Warriors now. Where do they go from here? Because your guys are getting older, and Klay he could barely move.
Yeah, Clay looked.
Draymond, the antics could only go so much, So and then the draft picks. They kind of whiffed on the draft picks. I mean, Wiseman gone. Moses Moody, yeah, he showed flashes here and there, but they don't trust him like that.
They should have though. Like
Kuminga, another one, they don't trust him like that.
yeah, he's an enigma because he has great outings. Then he's just like, dude, what are you doing out
Yeah,
there?
so it's kind of like you kind of whiffed on the draft. I don't know what's going on with the player developments over there. It's looking like they might be going this way, but
I mean,
free agency or some trades or something.
but
to change everything.
a machine can only, hold itself up so long until you have to upkeep it. You have to change some parts to it. So you gotta just plug in some new pieces. That's it. You can't have the factory's not gonna run forever on the same oil and pots. You're gonna have to adjust some things. So that's all.
That work.
Yeah, think about it. They won 4 championships in the time that they had when the Warriors in our lifetime were known for nothing. They did their job.
Yeah.
So they can move some guys around now so they can flourish and see what they doing in other places and other opportunities.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting offseason coming up for them, so let's see how they handle it just to rebuild their team. Because, Steph out there looking like he back in Davidson.
Nah, for real. They shot 27% from the 3, bro. When was the last time we talked? The Lakers outshot them in every category.
Yeah. Man, speaking of shooting performances, I don't know if you watched the whole game 1 last night, but there was some crazy shot making going on in this game. And the thing is, at one point when the Nuggets had a 20-point lead, the Lakers were shooting about 57% from 3. And AD had like 37 points, and they were still down. And I was just marveled at the shot making because a lot of those guys, everybody that was on that court yesterday was just making ridiculous shots.
Because that you're showing pure professionalism at its finest.
Yeah.
But when did you catch the game? Did you watch from the beginning?
Yeah.
Because I turned it off once halftime hit. I seen Jokic doing what he did, and I said, AD, he's got off to such a slow start. They're not gonna be able to come back from this.
Yeah, they was playing catch up in the second half, and then granted, AD played a great game, and what they did because they had to get AD off Jokic because I play offense and offensive defense, so they put Hachimura on him, and so AD could just roam, could be like a freelancer, a free safety or whatever. And they were saying, why don't the Nuggets just put Aaron Gordon up on the pick and roll and get AD out of the paint? Because that's what the Warriors were doing last round. It was just a simple fix.
For one, I didn't expect the Lakers to win this game at all.
Yeah.
Just coming off the series they came off of, and the Nuggets, I think they had a little extra break.
Yeah.
So I just figured the Nuggets be a little fresher. I figured Davis would have a hard time with Jokic. You gotta have to cover that man. That's just what it is. You can't hide from that. That's just, you're the biggest guy out there. He's the biggest guy out there. He happens to be a lot bigger than you. So.
And he had some success early. He had a few blocks on him too early.
But AD, you can't start slow against this man. Jokic, you don't know what Jokic is. He's like the Joker. You don't know what Jokic is gonna come. You don't know he'll give you 25 in the first half, 30 in the first half, or he'll give you 15 assists in the first half. Yeah. You don't know what he's gonna do. So you just gotta make it hard for that man.
And this is how I knew they was gonna win the game. When he hit that shot right before the third quarter ended, and
a little fadeaway three.
Yeah, and AD was just like, he was walking to the bench smiling because it was just like, when it's your night, it's your night. Because that was about as as perfect defense you could play, he still made it.
But the way Jokic plays, he plays standing kind of straight up because he's so big.
Yeah.
Pause. So AD has to make him uncomfortable. AD knows what it's like to be a guard.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of implement some of them guard tactics to make him uncomfortable, make him shoot in different ways and angles that he's not used to shooting. Dude kind of shoots over you. You got to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it's hard to beat a team where their entire starting line had over 10 points. Their starting line.
Bro, and then
10 points.
Brown is.
Brown coming off the bench 16.
All right. Let's say I got an issue here. You got two Browns out there, and one's last name is spelled Braun. And you got people in professional sports with the same last name, and it's pronounced Braun. What country is this man's last name from? Or what dialect or what? But Brown had 16 off the bench. I'm just saying, it's bothering us because we're told to pronounce certain things. It's like, hold up, that's Brown, that's Braun, but it's pronounced Brown. How? Then you got another guy, another team, another league called Braun. It's like, this is not making sense to me.
That would make more sense if it was OU.
Yeah, I'll take that. When you was in pharmacy class, they put that sign up and you pronounce them letters. You know what I mean? You echoed that. That makes sense.
Oh man.
Oh, Van Gundy talked about that too?
Yeah, he went on a whole rant about that.
Well, I need to sit down and talk to him. You gotta find a solution.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But it's tough to be the team when they just had everything going. And I think Lakers made some adjustments in that game that helped them in that fourth quarter. But if you think your adjustment is putting Hachimura on AD from the beginning of the game until whatever, good luck.
It's not going to work because think about it. They out-rebound them by 17 last night, and 15 of those were offensive rebounds. You have to figure that out, and then obviously the rest of the leagues have to come to play because you can't have – huh? Yeah, and the rest of the team have to play because you can't have three starters in double figures. You got guys that at least bring 10 to 12, 15, something.
Yeah, I think it's Lakers. They have a matchup offensively. They got some, the size advantage, but D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder, they can't be doing, especially Schroeder and all that nonsense he was doing live. You're not gonna get away with all that nonsense you were doing. Like when AD calls for the ball, give him the ball. When LeBron calls for the ball, give him the ball.
And those two are less likely to get blocked as much since the Nuggets had 7 blocks to the Lakers 4. So you have to, play. You have to play the you gotta be more strategic and just play the coverages. Yeah. The mismatches and all that.
See what adjustments they make, but if they put Hachimura on Jokic for that game, for game 2, just put Aaron Gordon. Whoever AD's covering, put him out on the switch.
What other big do the Lakers have? I'm just trying to think.
They don't.
Damn, they got rid of. Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. They don't. So.
Damn.
Yeah, Hachimura, if he gets in foul trouble, AD gets in foul trouble, good luck. And the crazy thing about the Nuggets, the third and fourth best players are really, really good players.
Yeah.
really good players. And the third one is 6'10", who can just get a shot whenever he wants.
I'm still puzzled about people coming off their bench. The Lakers have no big man coming off their bench, and they got DeAndre Jordan on the Nuggets.
He don't even play like
what are the Lakers doing?
Thomas Bryant on there too, former Laker.
I was thinking about him, but you didn't say anything. So I'm like, they must have got rid of him too. That's wild. That's wild to me.
Game 2's tomorrow. See if the Nuggets will go up 2-0. All right, Celtics Heat preview. Right. All right, so. In reality, the Celtics This series should go no more than 5 or 6 games. But it's the Celtics we're talking about, so we can't hold our breath to that because we just don't know if they're gonna play with their food or if they're gonna come out their bones.
And two, the way they play is gonna like clash, cause the Heat is just nonstop in your face, go and get it, and Celtics, depending on how they wake up in the morning, determines what's Celtics come to play, and they kind of start off kind of slow. They kind of let the game come to them, and the Heat just try to take the game from you.
Yeah, you're home too, so they got matchups. They could take advantage of inside as well. But yeah, pretty much this game is gonna come down to who just plays more focused for the whole series. That's pretty much what this series is gonna come down to. If the Celtics are really focused in this series should not go no more than 5 or 6 games. If they're not, we'll probably have another 7-game series like we did last year. But you can never count out the Heat because one thing we talked about it. One thing they do, they play hard, no matter who's out there. It could be a bunch of guys that just picked up from the G League last week, as the phone rings.
Yes, I want to pick it up and hang up, but I don't want to ruin anything.
But yeah, game one tonight. I'm really looking forward to this one. I always say this, but it's like there's always an opportunity to win that ring, to steal a ring, because this year nobody knows who's the favorite. Right, Denver might be the favorite, but it's just so much uncertainty. So this is like one of them years where you can steal yourself a ring.
You are correct, because I've been seeing, so many, what are them things called, man, graphics and stuff, on apps and all that, and they still got Giannis all over the place. And I'm like, bro, he got knocked out the first round. You got to put some new stars in there. Like, y'all can't assume who's going to make the conference finals. Like,
yeah, definitely. All right, we're going to run through quickly some other NBA news. The NBA draft lotteries yesterday. I still don't understand the draft lottery, but whatever. The Spurs won it. So they won the Victor Wemby sweepstakes, and they'll be getting him. Congratulations to him, but damn, I feel bad for Vic because, man, he is a superstar in the making. He's French, and he's going to San Antonio where ain't nothing but the Cheerios and what them big old women that Charles Barkley be saying. The nightlife is...
I mean, he can always drive to Houston. It's going to take him a couple hours, but...
I think he was really hoping Houston won that lottery because if he went to Houston...
I know Pop's excited. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure he's excited to go to the league. I don't think he'll be as excited when he sees how the Spurs rock, just because you say he's a superstar. But he might just need this to help settle him into the NBA, to show him how to be a pro on this level.
Someone said he's going to a place where lineups go to die. And they put up a picture of Robinson and Tim Duncan. I couldn't stop laughing.
I mean, I hope they don't expect him to be like Tim Duncan. Like, seems like he got more flavor than Tim.
Yeah. I know some of the teams that were tanking the whole season are tight and probably kicking themselves in the foot. I know Detroit's probably one of the teams.
But are you surprised San Antonio got it?
I'm never surprised when it's one of these marquee franchises that wins the lottery.
Because I'm like, y'all was sick of San Antonio being bad for the past couple years, and, Pop being held to this standard, and it's starting to dwindle, so they trying to, help him out a little bit before he go.
And then, this is how I always knew the draft lottery was kind of, I wouldn't say rigged, but it's kind of sketchy. When LeBron left Cleveland, and they got all the number 1 draft picks year after year, that's when I was like, all right, come on.
I think it's always crazy when the kid gets drafted to his hometown team. I personally think that should be illegal. I think that's the only team that shouldn't have you. Gotta be a lot of tampering going on. I'm just saying, like, how is it not? Like,
oh my gosh! But hey, whoever got I don't know who got the number 2. I forgot who's getting picking second. But you're getting Scoot Henderson, and he's a dog.
Yeah, he is.
They
got 5 guys, top 5 that actually can hoop. But yeah, Scoot's something different.
Yeah, definitely. That one is wild. All right. Other NBA news. Ja Morant. Oh my goodness gracious, man. Ja. And his boy was trying to save him too. Like his boy was trying to be smart and try to pull the camera away.
Yeah, but
it's just like.
For one, like I know Yeah, I know what all my friends got on when they get in the car, so I'm prepared. You know what I mean, like to do what not to do. We never just pull our phones out, anyways. Like, so as a friend, just stop recording your friend every second of the day. Like, I get it, he's a star, y'all having fun, but enjoy that moment with yourselves. And I get it. Get it. The thing about it, the issue too is this man's from a state where guns are legal. He's in a state where guns are legal, like open and carry states. Like he's from the South, so like the mindset's a little different. But he got to realize the label he's now now on him and the people he affects. He has to be smarter about it because unfortunately, what he does, they say affects the people that watch you, and they try to imitate what you do, which is not always true. But unfortunately, some kids do. So just be smart about how you move.
Just don't show it. Just don't show it. You don't need to show it. There's no reason for you to show it.
And what happened to the old sayings like, if you see this gun, it's the last thing you ever gonna see. Like that's the only reason why you're supposed to pull out a gun in the first place.
Right.
So, and people shouldn't know you have a firearm on you anyway. It's supposed to be the element of surprise. It's supposed to be like ta-da, like you know what I mean when it's time. But other than that, like they shouldn't know.
Yeah, I put it like this because it's kind of like it's people like more so worried. It's like you might pull it out and your life might end just for you messing around like that. Perfect example, Brandon Marshall when he was in Denver. I don't think he pulled out a gun or anything, but he was a little too wild. And his teammate got killed because somebody was following them and was aiming for Brandon Marshall, and it killed his teammate. So that's like the thing that came up that I remember. So I was like, you might have it, you might not do nothing, but somebody saw you with the gun, saw you flashing, thought you were threatening them or something like that, and then
a gun is probably the gun is the most dangerous thing you could have on you. So you just have to be smart at having a deadly weapon on you. Like these aren't deadly toys, these are deadly weapons, meaning they aren't for play. So let's just be smart about having them. There's no reason to flash them on camera and all that. You got to realize we live in a world where they record everything. Yeah. It's like we live in a world where it's easy to obtain this money, and they record everything. So it's so much quicker to lose it. Mm-hmm. And these people are banking on you to lose it. We want you to keep it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And help thrive and put in your community, help people, uplift people. But like in order to do that, you just gotta be smart about how you move.
And it sounded like, man, I don't know if you saw this interview with Adam Silver. It sounded like a parent disappointed at a child that yelled at him. It's just like,
well, I'm seeing everybody on social media calling him a moron and all this and the third. But if you're actually a parent, you gotta tell your kids something more than 10 times. Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, he's an adult, but he still has some maturing to do. Yeah. His pops is definitely going to talk to him now, I'm hoping so, and just help him sit down and understand the severity of things. And people want you to do super stuff so you can mess it up. And
he definitely getting suspended.
Yeah,
he's going to be suspended for a little bit.
But my thing is,
it's going to be like 10 games.
I mean, as a parent, as fans, give him a hug. You know what I mean? He still has to learn. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, you got to tell your kids more than 10 times to do something. Yeah. And then you got to tell them next week the same thing. So it's just one of the things he has to learn and just be better.
Keep it in the glove compartment. Keep it away. So if you do go on live, you're not showing it, or it's not way around so people can see it. Just that. But yeah, he's definitely getting suspended for. It shouldn't be half the season like some people are trying to bring down the hammer. But he should be. I say 10 games the most. That's good enough.
Some people are OD with that.
It's
just like,
40
come
games,
on, man.
Half the season, that's kind of.
He didn't even harm anybody. Didn't do anything illegal. So let's relax now.
He was being stupid after he was told, "Come on, you gotta chill."
He's just trying. Honestly, he got money and he's trying to act like everybody else. And he realized you can't act like everybody else. You're just not regular anymore, bro. It's all right.
People in their early 20s do stupid stuff like this. Granted, this one is really, really stupid. It's like life. Like people worried about your life moving forward. But there's a lot of stupid stuff people do in their 20s. Early 20s. We'll skip all these coaches that got fired, which was no surprise. Monty Williams got fired, no surprise. Doc Rivers got fired, no surprise. Nick Nurse got fired. Coach Budenholzer got fired.
All
the coaches, that's like 3 or 4 coaches of the year all got fired.
Yeah, it's like a trend. Don't win coach of the year. It's like the Madden curse.
For real.
But like, how Monty get fired though? Dudes don't even be able to keep up for a full season. How did his fault? He was a journeyman that had played all season.
Yeah, I think there's like some underlying issues in the
that
played a role in that.
I respect that. Yeah, all right.
It hasn't came out yet, but we'll probably will see an article in the summertime.
I just wish he just had a full team just so he could do. But yeah, he might be doing some weird stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's go to No Huddle. Craig, he's going to talk about the Patriots schedule. Jesus Christ, have you seen that thing? The first 4 games, the first 8 games, man. Craig, don't talk about that. Then we're going to come back and it's a fast show this week.
What up, everybody? Welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig, and let's talk about this Patriots 2023 schedule. What can I say? Not looking so promising, but I believe that there is some hope to be had. So let's just break it down real quick. We start off week 1 up against the Eagles, NFC Championship, one of the best Super Bowl games. That's a hands down L. Then we're facing the Dolphins, an improved team, together for a full season. Tua, with the weapons he needs to get it done. I think that's an L. Then you go to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, bringing in Lazard. This is, hopefully for the Jets, Breece Hall at full strength. That's an L. Then we go on to the Cowboys. Once again, if they're fully healthy, Tony Pollard leading the way, that's an L. They've got a revamped defense. They made some moves in the draft. I don't see us winning this game. Also, Brandon Cooks to the Cowboys. I don't see us winning. Then we go to the Saints with Derek Carr. Will Michael Thomas be healthy? But they still have Olave. They still have Johnson at tight end. Will Alvin Kamara play? I don't know, but they drafted the rookie running back. So this could be a game that could go either way. But with no true additions on offense, even though we have what I believe might be a top 10 run game, I don't see us winning this game, but this one could go either way. Then we go off to the Raiders where we face Jimmy G, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Josh Jacobs. Once again, one of those games I don't see us winning, but their defense isn't that great, so it could go either way. So that's 2 games that we could possibly win. But week 7 we go to the Bills, and that's not looking good for us. And then back to the Dolphins, who once again, I think Dolphins have always played us tough, so I don't believe that we win that game. Then we go to the Commanders where there's a little bit of hope. Not much quality at the quarterback position, although they do have a great wide receiver. They have a fairly good run game and a pretty good defense. So one of those games that can go either way, but I'm leaning towards win. Then we go on to play the Colts overseas, where it's a disadvantage. The travel is a disadvantage for both teams. Who will get the favor of the crowd? I believe it would be the Patriots. So I do think this game could go either way, but I'm leaning toward win because whether it's Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson, I believe there's a lot of room for us to capitalize with our defense. And then unfortunately we play the Giants, whose defense is one of the best last year, and they've added tight end help and wide receiver help, so I believe we lose. Week 13 against the Chargers, 100%. I don't think we can win that game. Then we face the Steelers. Lackluster at the quarterback position. Fairly good offense, fairly good defense. I think this is an even matchup for us. I think it's pretty much almost identical in matchup, only their receivers are a little better than ours. It could go either way, but I'm going to lean towards W. Then we face the Chiefs, Super Bowl champs. We get dusted. We face the Broncos, who bring on new coach, Sean Payton, legend. I believe we lose that game. Week 17, we face the Bills, loss. Face the Jets, last week of the season, loss. So, with all these losses, why do I see potential? I see potential because I think there's a chance the Patriots might come in last place. And where, as a Patriots fan, you'd be like, well, why do you want us to come in last place? Because Caleb Williams, best quarterback draft prospect since Trevor Lawrence, since Patrick Mahomes. They believe this dude has all the skills of Patrick Mahomes, but is better. So if we come in last place or close to last place, maybe we could trade up to that number 1 spot. Boom. Caleb Williams, best quarterback in the NFL and on the Patriots. And then maybe, we could get some offensive weapons. Because right now, we look like a defensive team with almost little to no offense outside the run game. So if the Patriots can come in last place this year, maybe we get Caleb Williams and we have our franchise quarterback. That's all I have for you this week. Here's the hoping. Back to after the whistle. See you next week.
All right, and we are back. Okay, yesterday on Tuesday, I went down to Private Jewels Boxing and talked to 3 of their fighters over there, some young fighters. Talked to them. They've been going around places, getting into some big fights and all that good stuff. Talk some boxing. So check this Athletes Corners out, and then we're going to come back. All right, welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner, and I haven't been here in a while, but I'm back at Private Jewels Fitness. They renovated since the last time I've been here. They got another ring back there. We got champions over here. We got belts. We got medals. Everybody introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Alex Mencia. I've been here for 2 years training.
Hello, I'm Anderson Blanco, and I've been training for 3 years now.
Hello, I'm Gabriel Mercedes, and I've been training for 2 years.
And this is Anderson's second time. First time we had him in the studio. This is their first time here. All right, so start with you, Anderson. The last time we talked, a lot's changed since the last time I had you in the studio. Can you just give everybody an update of everything, like the fights you've been, championships you won, and all that?
Yeah, a whole lot been changing, honestly, inside and outside the ring. I mean, from fights all the way to being ranked number 10 and winning more belts. And, of course, the love of the team. The team's been growing, the team's been developing, and education has been improving like always.
What specifically has changed as a fighter? What has improved since that last time we talked?
Since last time I talked, I've been feeling more confident in my own fighting style. I've been finding my own self, so to say, inside the ring. Just figuring out what's the style that's accurate for me and what works for me. I've been learning to adapt to different circumstances and just learning more and more about life lessons from boxing itself.
For you, this is your first time. I haven't seen you fight yet. I think I was supposed to see you fight. I don't think you fought. I think I might have left before you fought over at the Boys and Girls Club. But talk to me what it's been like just being here, being a part of this team, and just, getting more and more experience in the boxing world and, moving up and getting more rank and all that.
Now that's been almost 2 years working and being part of this team, being part of this gym, it's been amazing to say. This gym is really my peace of mind outside of life, and it's outside of school and outside of home life. So really, it's been amazing to come here to train with my team, because as much as I better myself and I work on myself and I train to make myself better, these people like Anderson and Gabriel, they're always working with me, making me better, helping me progress. I've gained not just experience in training and championships and belts like I did in King of the Ring, but also family. I consider these people my brothers at this point. Like, we really are together.
What got you into boxing? When did you first start? When did your love of boxing start?
I've always watched boxing and MMA and cage fights with my stepfather at home. So I've always grew up watching it and grew a love towards it through the screen.
Yeah.
And the minute my mom asked me if I wanted to take a sport after school, my first idea was I want to get into boxing. And then we found the gym. I came in one day since the first 2 classes are free, and I just fell in love with it at first sight.
Gabe, you. I know you had a little bad luck stretch at one point last year, the year before. You had a little bad luck stretch with fights getting canceled, the fighters not showing up. But so far you participated in King of the Ring this year. participated in a couple other fights this year as well, right?
Yeah.
Just talk to me about this year and the fights you've been a part of this year.
So this year I had Golden Gloves, King of the Ring, and I had like other just club shows. It's been overall a good year so far. I mostly had more wins than I only had like 2 losses, 5 wins this year, around there. Yeah. Around there. It's pretty good year, not gonna lie.
What was I know King of the Ring. Granted, you didn't come out with the results you wanted, but that you've been a part of it. But how's it just that whole tournament? How's it been bigger? And what's it like just participating in it each year? You know.
This is my second year participating in the King of the Ring. It's an amazing experience. Get to fight a lot of great fighters. Get to meet a lot of people. Like I made a lot of friends in the King of the Ring. It's a good experience overall.
For all three of you, what's it like? I know you guys travel a lot. You do a lot of traveling throughout the states and stuff. I don't know if you guys have done out of country travels for boxing. Have y'all done out of country yet for boxing yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. But what's it like just traveling through different states and going to see, sparring with other fighters and facing other fighters and just getting different type of perspective and experiences? I'll give you answer this.
I'm not gonna lie. Like it's like my favorite part is about boxing is traveling. Like I met so many like not only like just fighting, like just also sparring as well. We've been to other gyms, met a lot of great fighters, seen a lot of great gyms and it's amazing work. Stuff like that.
For me, I'm gonna have to agree with Gerbo where my favorite part of boxing is the traveling, especially since I don't really get as much sparring around here. There's not many female fighters, unfortunately. But when we get to go out and we get to travel and I get to meet new female fighters, experienced female fighters, Golden Club champions, it's inspirational really. Like I get to see these girls who really did it, who really progressed and really did what they wanted. They did what they set out to. So
I feel like at y'all age right now, you don't see that many female fighters. I mean, I don't, especially in this area, you don't really see that many. So it's kind of cool that you can go. If you go somewhere else, you see more than what you normally would see at home.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all too because, to come to think about it, traveling and networking with other boxers is a huge part of boxing, and that's how you learn, that's how you develop. I like the adrenaline that I feel whenever I encounter a new style. I just like learning new things, and that's exactly what it provides.
Definitely. Y'all gotta talk to me about the belts that all y'all have around. Everybody gotta go. I don't know. But talk to me about your belts. Each one of you can just tell me about the belts, where you won it, how many rounds you got in, or whatever.
This is my King of the Ring belt. I got it earlier last month on the 29th. I fought this newer girl. I've been training for King of the Ring all since last year, and I won it. I stopped her second rounds. It was barely a minute. It was 40 seconds. And it's really just, I've been King of the Ring before, but really you don't know the sense of accomplishment you feel when the belt's handed to you and how much it really gives you. But yeah.
So this belt I won at a Willie Pep Festival last summer. It was a very long 3-minute, 3-round battle, but we got the win, and it feels satisfying, just like she said, and I just felt really excited till this day. I feel it.
You guys get to you in a second. No, you can answer after this, but do you guys answer your question after I answer this question? But do you guys ever feel like the pressure when do the nerves kick in when you guys getting ready for a fight before?
So yeah, of course. I always get nervous before all my fights. Like that's just a normal thing. Like when you're gonna fight, you're obviously gonna be nervous, but you gotta keep your composure. Something I still work with. Like that's honestly my biggest weakness. Like for me, it's the nerves. Like you'll see me and here sparring. Like I'm gonna like just a different beast, like a different monster, and then you see in the ring, Like, I forget some of the stuff. Like, I get nervous, I get too overwhelmed. But I'm starting to get better at it. Like, my last fight, my last two fights before my last fight, like, I was calm, I was boxing. You know, that's how I won my medals and stuff. So,
Tell me about them 3 medals you have right there.
so, so this one I won at the. I don't know if it's gonna take too much time. So two of these I won on CES boxing shows. This one I won in it was either Connecticut or New York. I don't remember. And this one I won the PAL. I fought the number 165 fighter in New England. I beat him for this one. And then this one, it was during the New England Championships in 2022.
What's the toughest showcase or tournament or event that you all three of you participated in where your opponent was like, yeah, you really had to dig deep because the opponent was bringing it.
For me, it'd have to be in the New England Championships of last year. It was my first time fighting a lefty girl, and southpaw, and it was, I was like, here we're so used to training against each other, we're all righties, so it was like a first time experience, and I really had to like dig deep, like learn something on the spot, and really try to like keep up, because fighting a southpaw and fighting, an orthodox person is completely different style, it's a completely different experience.
For me, it was, I think it was this year. Yeah, this year's Detroit, Michigan USA Boxing Nationals. It was a long week, 3 fights. It was a consecutive. We were fighting. We didn't stop training. If I wasn't training, I was fighting. If I wasn't fighting, I was training, and they were all lefties. So most of them were lefties. So that was the hardest part. But hey, it taught me a lot.
For me, it was like about 3 weeks ago. I fought back to back on Friday and Saturday. Not gonna lie, my Friday fight, I lost because, like I said, my biggest weakness, I wasn't there. Like the nerves, I got overwhelmed. And the next day, I had a tougher fight and a tougher opponent. It was the one where I won this one right here, the 165. So I had to make adjustments, readjust. Like I had to be prepared mentally, and I lost, and then I won. And I say that was my toughest one.
Southpaw is like the biggest challenges for you all. That's what it sounds like for me.
Well, for them, not for me.
What's the advantage or what's the difficulties in fighting a southpaw?
I mean, for me, it's when you're facing a southpaw, they have you like right in the face with that left check hook. So it's like no matter like under, back, over, they're always like right there with that hand. I think it's just like keeping myself out of their range, especially since the girl I fought was taller than me and had a longer range than I did. It was just like keeping myself back and forth, like constantly moving. And, especially for a righty, like you constantly have to be moving to your left. Like you constantly have to be seeing like parallel to them.
The main southpaw advantage is that there are more orthodox than southpaws. So for me, it's really just the difference in experience that we have. Since there are more orthodox and we ourselves are orthodox, we rarely encounter a good southpaw. Southpaws are either really good or they're really bad. So if you have a southpaw in your gym, they're good, feel lucky. So that's it.
What's next? What is next for all three of y'all? What's the next fights or next tournament? What you guys got coming up? Summer's right around the corner.
Well, Anderson and I, we're going to be fighting for USA for the upcoming USA versus Ireland. So it's going to be in July, I believe, And my main goal is, like, go to nationals. Like, I really want that experience. Like, I need that. Like, because I want to fight the best of the best in the country. So I'm going to be fighting all these club shows. All that is just practice and experience for nationals for me. That's about it.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know when my next fight is. Like I said, it's extremely difficult for me to find fighters within my age and weight class. So, I know my coaches are searching. They were trying to find me fights. I'm lucky enough to have as many fights as I do now. So looking out there for the next one.
Yeah, we fight this weekend, Rhode Island, Gabriel and I, and then once again we're back in there versus Ireland a week after.
Where in Rhode Island?
Most likely Providence, Rhode Island. Yes. Yeah.
That's what's up, huh? You run out of time. But once again, thank you. Thank all three of y'all. Plug in your social media and before we get out of here.
Of course, you can follow me in Instagram, official_Anderson Blanco.
I'm Alex Mencia. Follow me on Facebook under Alex Mencia.
You can follow me on Instagram at Gabe Mercedes with 2 S's at the end.
So let me tell Dave to show up on time to school. he got 4 days. He got like 5 days. His last day of school is Monday.
Yeah, graduating this year.
Yeah, y'all ain't got no school
Graduating. Yeah.
tomorrow. Y'all ain't got no school tomorrow, right?
Nah.
Yeah, all right. So Thursday and Friday, you need to show up on time.
Yeah, I'ma come.
Because he shows up at like 11:30.
I mean, yo, it's like the last week of school. I'm gonna graduate, man.
You was showing up at 11:30 since September. This guy here, man. This guy. All right. Private Jewel Fitness. What's the Instagram page again?
Just go to privatejewelsfitness.com or privatejewelsboxing.com.
Yeah, if y'all heard Alex, he said privatejewelsfitness.com. Go to the website or come to the gym. Address
725 Summit Street.
725 Summer Street. We're here. Come through, check it out. Put your kid in boxing. Woo! Get them out of trouble. We're out of here.
Yep.
All right, and we are back. We got some quick stuff before we get out of here. All right, there's a boxing match this week. We got Haney versus Lomachenko. That is happening this weekend for Haney's undisputed title. I believe that's going to happen. You know, the voice in the sky would usually be commentated right now, but clearly, the voice in the sky.
He'd be the voice in the closet in this room.
For Haney Lomachenko, this will be taking place Saturday. I'm pretty sure you got Haney winning this.
Yeah, come on, man. Fried chicken boy. Even though Lomachenko, yeah, he's nice, but I got Haney, man. You got to prove to me you're gonna knock the champ off.
Yeah, I saw an interview and Haney's talking about how he made his money off the jab. He made the jab and paid him millions. Traditionalist with boxing, boxing, that's where you're supposed to make your money. Yeah. That's the quickest punch. That's the most effective punch you got. The other ones are kind of like knockout punches. The jab's a setup. Yeah. It sets almost everything up. Yeah, so this will be going down this weekend. So I might watch it if somebody has it on, or if I'm at a bar and it's on, I might watch it. Other fighting news. Francis Ngannou, he's signed with the Professional Fighters League. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Leaving the UFC. So that means there won't be no future fight with him and John Jones, I'm guessing. Because of this, because I think, them two have been going back and forth. But he said, what did he say? That he's excited for this strategic partnership. And he'll, we'll see what happens in the fights he gets out of this and what he does. It's kind of an interesting dip from him from UFC to PFL. I don't know how big the Professional Fighters League is.
Maybe he's helping them build their name. Maybe he might be the face of it, since he's well known. Maybe they got the bag for him. Maybe they respect their fighters more than the UFC does, from what I hear about how the UFC kind of treats, their fighters to a certain extent. So you never know.
Maybe he got an investment in it or something like that. So some of these guys are investing in different fight leagues and stuff like that. So maybe he invested some money in it, and hey, I invested in this. So let me go and help this brand.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Oh man, like I said, this is a quick show this week. We've flying by since we're in here. Not much happening in the sports world. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to think of anything that happened around here, but I mean, I'll talk to him about the nonsense with the youth football, spring football. Jesus, please, y'all always into some nonsense. They like the shade room.
Do they gotta try out for these teams, or they just pay and play?
I have no idea.
I just feel like if every league just, I don't know how football goes, but, you know, from my experiences, from my friends, they just always played in pay-to-pay leagues. Just feel like if kids have to make a team, there's a higher standard for everybody involved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But with that, I will be back in the studio next week. Yeah, you guys got a couple more weeks with us because we'll be on a sabbatical at some point in June. you won't see us. But once again, LCTV After the Whistle Instagram, Mr. Brand 23 Instagram, Carl K Instagram, lyntv.org. Make sure you follow us. All that good stuff. And yeah, summer's almost here. School's almost out. We out of here. I'm leaving.
Facts.
Taking a trip.